Happy New Year. Obviously, go Dogs. Excited about our football team and the opportunity to play for a national championship, and just so happy for them. And I know everyone was cheering and watching along. So hopefully we're not sleep deprived anymore, but really excited, and just congratulations to them. Excited for the trip that's ahead of us. Starting Pac-12 play kind of again as we started a little earlier and took a pause. But looking forward to the opportunity to go on the road and continue to learn a lot about ourselves.
Well, I think it's always really cool in business when I talk to people who do the same thing I do, and I can learn a lot of things. Have you had much interaction with Coach DeVore?
Yeah, he's been amazing. I feel like that, he's just a person who will show up for you at any time. And so we've gotten an opportunity to talk a lot face-to-face, and we've texted a lot and spoken by phone. And he's just an incredibly humble leader who is a servant leader, and incredible for our department. I know all the head coaches, really look up to him, and I think he set a great example.
Is there anything from football that translates over to basketball that might work?
Of course. Well, culture. I think that his culture is tremendous. You can see how much his young men love each other, how hard they work, their commitment to the process, and it's just a lot of things that are transferable.
How are you? I haven't talked to you in a while. How are you feeling about where things are and to go to a next level right now? What do you really need to focus on?
I think for us, we're just always concerned with our daily disciplines and the process, and we don't look too far ahead. We don't spend a ton of time looking back once we've done a good job of evaluating and seeing the areas that need growth. And so we're just ready for that next step to continue to learn and grow.
You guys have now had like 2 weeks off, which has probably felt a little bit like the COVID period. You kind of had that break. Again, is it a good thing, bad thing, rest versus rust? You haven't played in a long time.
It's been a minute, yes. And so, yeah, we came back from the holidays, really pleased with how we came back. Probably the best the team has come back, came back in shape. Very joyful, enjoyed their times with their family, which I think is so great in college athletics, that we get that break. Basketball feels like we play year-round, and so it's a significant break. And they came back just in a great place physically and mentally, and we got to work. And so because of how they came back, I think that made the transition smooth, as we were able to play a little bit more live, faster than you normally do when you first come back if you don't have a game. And we were able to get a few of our scout guys to come, which was tremendous. You don't usually have that in the holidays. Their commitment has been incredible. And then, just be able to work on some things. While we got to play a lot of teams in the non-conference that had some different styles, and got to play some in different environments, there's always still so much to learn at that time of the year. It's still December, January. And so much for us still to improve on. So I think they saw it as a chance to continue to grow both ends of the floor.
It's been so long since the game against Louisville, but what can you take away from that game? What you said earlier, that you don't like to look back too much, but what things are the drop from that game?
Yeah, well, first we were proud of our fight. I mean, physically proud of the fight. I think when we first arrived, I thought we were prepared for the environment. We spent a lot of time on that, and think that, probably affected us. I think it took us a minute to adjust to styles. We came out and didn't have our best start. And I think that's something that we look back on and say, this is interesting, some of the decisions that we made. And, we learned from those quickly. And we have such great chemistry on our team. We can communicate about, how we were feeling and what decisions we made. And we were able to just sit down and say, hey, how were we were able to respond after a tough start and continue to compete and have some great moments in the game. And so how do we build on that and be better in those moments going forward?
Just obviously as you sort of move into conference play, that it always seems invariably that everything that happened in non-conference, all of the scoring stuff, it kind of gets tightened up as these teams kind of know each other. Are you, you had a taste with that, obviously, but are you kind of sort of looking forward to that? Because it would seem that plays into kind of what you guys want to do, all of the freewheeling stuff, this is going to get, like a real dogfight. Like
Yes, well said. Yes, absolutely. I would say this is the time that all of non-conference scouting starts coming into play in a more specific, this every possession is critical mentality, much like we experienced at Louisville. It took us a minute to settle in, and that minute got us in the end, and I think that we really have had those moments that we responded well from, and those that but we still need to continue to improve on. And those are the IQ scouting, whether it be a closeout read, whether it be the way we're going to guard an action, whether it be what offense we're trying to run and where we're trying to score from in that offense. That's going to be something we continue to grow in. And we do it in arguably the best conference in the country. And so every night, you're going to play a team that you can't make a lot of mistakes against.
Where have you seen the most growth in this team, and where's the next kind of growth area that you want to see specifically maybe in these next couple of games?
Can you repeat that? I'm sorry.
So where have you seen the biggest growth in the team
Oh,
from like
I
the start
understand.
of the season to now you're at beginning
Yes.
actual play, and then where's kind of that next step that you want to see the team take?
Yeah, I mean, when you go back to the beginning of the season, I feel like we could be here for a while in growth areas because we started, a lesser experienced team, and so everything that we talked about this season, we wanted to be a little bit different on the road, and how we approach road games. We wanted to be different in our preparation, and so that it would be more consistent. I say different, but consistent. We wanted to make them more equal, and the way that we. Just transition from the offensive and defensive end of the floor. I think it's, we've talked a lot about our offense and how we wanted to expand that offense. And so at times be able to play really fast, at times be able to be very thoughtful about the decisions that we're making so that we don't lead to things that benefit the other team. And so I've seen growth in a lot of areas, and obviously the one talked about the most is our defense, and so we continue to get a little bit better on that end of the floor, but we'll be challenged significantly in these next couple of games especially.
Hitting the road, Stanford and Cal, what can we expect?
Well, my mind is on Cal because that's kind of how we do things. The process for us is the next team, and I think Cal is very talented. Charmin's done an incredible job. I have so much respect for her, and we've had a lot of great conversations through my few years here, and she's done an incredible job of building a great team. They're playing at a high level, both ends of the floor, especially difficult on the offensive end of the floor as they have a lot of weapons. So it'll be a big challenge for us.
It seems as if like you built a team where the defense can like travel and and do that. Are you concerned at all about your offense? Can you get enough points to win on the road?
I think it depends, offensively, with us understanding what teams are giving us. And so that's our need for growth is there were opportunities to score at Louisville that we didn't recognize, just quite understanding what we would run and why we would run it and how that would lead us to a little bit easier baskets. You saw us get some of them in the second half. We didn't knock down a few shots that we probably were capable of making, but credit to them because that was the pressure that they gave us and the position that we were in. And if we can grow in that, if we can look at those execution moments, because we did grow in our execution there. I mean, even for the very end of the game, we're executing end of game, full court, very intense pressure and finding our way to finish. We have to continue to do that team by team because Cal's defense and Stanford's defense are two totally different defenses. And so that's our experience level, and it's our job as coaches to help us keep growing in that area. And I think we need to do a better job of making sure they understand that when we walk into the game.
Is everyone healthy? That Louisville game was L's first game back.
Mm-hmm.
I would imagine, like, for these past 2 weeks, that's given her time to get.
Yeah, we had a lot of sickness at Louisville, and as everyone does. So, it's winter, but we've gotten better. I mean, people went home for the holidays and had some rest, and so we seem to be well. So.
Most schools,
Go ahead.
most schools kind of view the non-conference as a try, but it seems like how did you balance the non-conference to prepare for a tough Pac-12 conference slate? Because as you said, it's one of the deeper conferences in the country. Now, how did you balance that from a scheduling and a planning perspective to give you guys a test to prepare for the Pac-12?
Yeah, we wanted to get our younger team and a lot of experience to start with, and we wanted to see a lot of different styles of play. And so we also still wanted to be able to go on the road and have some different environments. And so we made a couple of trips that were a little bit longer than we've made in the past. And we had an opportunity to play in front of great fans and different environments and then obviously the styles of play. So I think the non-conference, you could see our growth through it, from the first game until we played at Hawaii or at Washington State or at Louisville. And I think those moments continue to help us expand our knowledge of what it feels like to go in those environments as well as the different styles of play.
You know Houston well, I'm guessing. We're heading there. Standing around the gallery.
You can leave your jackets at home.
Leave jackets at home. Give us a couple places we might want to hit around the Galleria. You know that area.
Houston, when you're working, you're working. So I can tell you the restaurant's right around Rice. That's what I can tell you. DoorDash. That's what I can tell you. No, there's some amazing places, down there. And so one of them changed names for me, so I'm trying to remember the name. It was called Houston's, but it was my favorite place to eat, and now it's changed names, and I can't remember the name of it. But local places are really fun around the university that we enjoyed. So.
Seafood or steak or both?
I would go steak in Houston.
Okay.
I think Seattle has the seafood.
Hey,
So.
did you have a chance to see that SC UCLA game?
Mhm.
Where they, just some of the thought of, I guess, college basketball for women as a whole. I just saw that crowd and I was like,
Mhm.
I've seen a lot of,
How fun. Mhm.
basketball, and I don't remember a crowd like that.
Yeah, well, credit to the Pac-12 and how they've continued to grow their fan bases. I mean, I think you could say that. I've gone into several environments and thought, wow, their fan base is really growing, and I think that's marketing of the universities and the effort that they're putting behind that. And so, credit to UCLA for all the effort that they put into marketing that game and how they got their fans out and the way their team's playing this year, and obviously two great teams going at it. I could say I was watching several of the games of the teams that we're about to play, and you can see the crowds continuing to grow. And several announcers kept saying, this is December, because the games were pretty intense and well played. And, I just think that it's neat to see the game continue to grow and expand. It's fun to watch, young women continue to play the game at a higher and higher level. And so it's a great time in women's basketball.
And then to that right there, are you watching at all what Caitlin Clark is doing as she gets inch closer and closer to that record?
I can't say I've seen them play a lot. I've seen the teams that I know we're going to play. We spend so much time preparing for scouts, it's hard to get too far outside of that. But the teams you mentioned are obviously in our conference, so I had an opportunity to see that one.
Any last questions? All right, thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks.